Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Sheila Bila coming to you with another review of Tyler Perry's Sistas season 9, episode 11. Surprise, surprise. If you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, hey, how y'all doing? We're gonna go ahead and get into this episode just to let you all know too. If you are new here, I do ad lib. I don't say things word for word. I just kind of talk it out how I talk it, So anyway, yeah, don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. The more you do like, the more I do go to the algorithm, and more people will start to view my commentary on the road to 8,000 subscribers. So let's go ahead and get into this episode. This episode, we kind of got into some things, and I was happy about it. I was happy about some of the conversations that we had, even though they really wasn't completed. I'm happy we got into the conversation. So yeah, the episode picks up with Andy and Hayden. Hayden is in Andy's office, getting on her nerves as always, talking about how jealous she is of Fatima and how Fatima got all these gifts and how Andy didn't get all these gifts, and he's happy that there's a crack in the sister circle and all this stuff. And Andy is pretty much defending herself against his words and all that. But then he brings up, yeah, you got this little lawsuit going up against Mr. Cruz. It ain't gonna work. He said that's his buddy. He had lunch with him and his wife the other day. Come to find out he needed a tax attorney and I'm his attorney and all that other stuff. Trying to bust Andy's bubble. Andy is like, boy, pretty much she said whatever she said, told him to get up out of his office and all that. And my thing is, Hayden, if you know that she has a lawsuit against him that is her trying to protect black and brown women, why wouldn't you want to go along with that? Well, I guess anything to hurt Andy, right? I guess whatever. Karen is holding her baby, and when she's holding her baby, she's talking about the baby, saying, oh, who does she look like? Does she look like Aaron and me? The mother, Mama Lisa, says she looks like a mix between the two of them. Just how beautiful she is and all that stuff, right? And then your sister is going to be with you forever. And then she gets the one to get, kind of crying a little bit. And when she said your sister's going to be with you forever, I was like, Karen, what you got to do with this baby? I mean, yeah, anyway. And then the mama said the sister's going to be with all of us forever. I was like, okay, all right. But anyway, Karen says she wants to have some alone time with her baby. Mama Lisa said, anyway, okay, I need to go take a nap, right? So she goes back there to take a nap, and she's talking to the baby, take the baby little head off and all that stuff. The baby like, cuckoo and cuckooing it, right? So then Karen stands up. The baby kind of starts to get irritable a little bit. I was thinking, I said, do the baby need a bottle? Like, what you gonna give it? Are you finna try to breastfeed? Like, what you finna try to do? Karen kind of starts crying. She walks over there, put the baby in the bassinet, and starts to cry. And I said, Karen, what you finna do? Like, what you finna do? I know you're not finna take this doctor's advice and take off walking with this baby and walk off into oblivion. Like, what you finna do? I don't know, y'all. What she finna do? Somebody tell me what is Karen finna do with this baby? Anyway, so, Andy is simmering, right? Because she even got word that Dr. Cruz is going to be a client here by way of Aaron. So she calls Mr. Benson and Benson, come here. So he comes in and like, okay, what? And she says, so I hear that Dr. Cruz is a client now. He was like, yeah, he said he needed a tax attorney, so I recommended him. And she was like, but I'm trying to do this suit against him. You told me to get more evidence, and that's what I did. He was like, no, we're just going to drop that. She was like, no, did you not know that he had a class action suit down there in Alabama? He talking about his past affairs ain't none of his business. I was like, well, God, dog, you don't care about what that man did. And she was just like, his name, man, that's an alias. That whatever Cruz, it ain't even his name. That's an alias. Okay. She was like, do you not see that this is systematic? This man has a male, this man has been misdiagnosing and mishandling black and brown women. And no, like, we can't do that. And now he was like, well, you're going to let this go now that he's going to be a client of this firm. And she was just like, this ain't fair. You can't see that this is ethically immoral, and this is, all that. And did y'all notice that Andy's voice was changing? Andy went from talking like, well, that this is, until this ain't even right. I was like, okay, Andy, or whatever. But he said this. Mr. Benson was like, I like you and all. But if you can't follow instructions, if you can't sit there and follow orders, then you might need to find somewhere else to go practice law. I was like, well, Andy, that's your ticket. You know what I'm saying? He told you either you're going to sit up and shut up, or either you're going to find something else to do. So, Andy, what you going to do? She going to tell us later. Zach drunk. And I was just like, how? Well, he not drunk just yet. But I was like, when did Zach and Rich start to be friends the way that they're being friends? Okay, I guess we trying to keep Rich around. All right, here we are. So they over there drinking and they're commiserating. And he's sitting over there thanking Rich for having his back with Chaz and all that stuff. And so he was just saying, yeah, oh boy, he bought Fatima a $6,000 purse, and you know what that's like, and all this other stuff. And and Rich is pretty much telling Zach, I don't think you should dig too deep in it. Pretty much she is working with him and all that stuff. Like, he was just trying to make it seem like it's really not a big deal. But Zach, on the other hand, is just like, yeah, but she getting other gifts. Like, it's just not that one gift. She getting gifts at the office and she ain't telling me about it, and he got gifts popping up at my house and all this other stuff. And so he was like, dang, I didn't know he was doing all of that. But Rich is still staying safe at the fact that you just need to talk to her, and just the same words that talk to her, try to understand what's going on or whatever. All right, so now Rich is talking about him and Sabrina and how Sabrina caught him sleeping with Penelope all over the office. All over the juice bar. Zach like, did you clean that thing before? I had 2 of my juices there. He was like, yeah, we cleaned it, we disinfected and all that other stuff. But he was like, we wasn't even together when it happened. And Zach is just like, well, what's the problem? Y'all weren't together. But then Zach said, well, shoot, she probably can't get that image out of her head. Yeah, maybe y'all need to give each other some time, and then y'all probably come back together. Rich said, knowing Sabrina, he saw her out. She was talking to some other dude. He really didn't look like her type, but he was talking and all this other stuff. And he said, knowing Sabrina, she'll be in love in a month. I said, you know what? In love in a day, Rich. At least you know that much about your girl. Well, you used to be, girl. Anyway, so. But Zach did say Sabrina really don't be getting out there like that. She don't be just jumping from man to man. So you really must have made her upset. Yeah, he really did. All right, so now Sabrina is showing everybody this man's Mandingo, right? Everybody. And telling Maurice about the Mandingo, showing Danny the Mandingo, just everybody about the Mandingo, right? That's an actual tribe in Africa, the Mandingo tribe. Anyway. So Paige comes in talking about Sabrina messed up some numbers, and while they over there talking, then Paige's brother walks in, Dylan. He brings in some stuff for a vision board. So he says that him and Maurice are going to have a date doing vision boards over some wine. Paige thought it was corny, but Maurice actually says he wants to do it, and he thinks that's a great idea. And so Maurice kicks everybody out the room, and him and Dylan have a nice little conversation. So it looks like Maurice got a new little boo thing. Little boo thing. Ciao. I'm so over this. I'm really over this. Danny comes home and Tony is still not working. It's been about 6 months. However long it's been, and he's still not working. He laid up on the couch. I just never understood why he would never go home. But he goes to explain why he really won't want to go home anytime soon, because he don't cook, he don't clean, he plays the game all day, he has food all over the place, it smells like corn chips. He's not really contributing to anything that Danny has going on. And now he says that he wants to renovate his house. He really done intruded. He done already put his house out there. He has 3 people that are already interested, and he's just going to stay here with Danny. Then he said, you know what? I gotta go. I'm about to walk off. And I'm like, Danny, why you weren't just telling this man just to go home? Just go home. You like your space. There is nothing wrong with you having a boyfriend that lives in another house that you don't have to see every day. He got his own house. Why don't he just dirty up his house and not your house? All right, so Fatima gets the phone call from the doctor, or from the nurse, or from the patient tech, whoever it is, the receptionist, talking about Zach then canceled the doctor's appointment. He canceled that Zach canceled the birth at the hospital because they're going to have a midwife. And Fatima said, I don't know why he would do that. First of all, you take orders from me. Don't take any more orders from Zach. Don't take any more orders from Zach. Anytime, just take orders from me. We are going to have a hospital birth. But my thing is, first of all, you and Zach ain't even married. So why are they calling Zach in the first place? That ain't your husband. They shouldn't be, because that's your boyfriend. I know y'all say fiance, but y'all ain't married. So they shouldn't be calling him, asking him about nothing. That ain't your husband. Anyway, so she gets off the line with them, and she's frustrated. And Andy comes in, and yeah, she brings up the fact that Dr. Cruz wants her to drop the case, but they are going to pursue it anyway, regardless of what Dr. Cruz says. Fatima says, well, you know how Dr. Cruz is, he wants his bottom line, but since you're going to pursue it, okay, it's cool, whatever. And then Andy puts her friend hat on and asks how Fatima is doing. Fatima says it's just been a lot, she'll be all right though. It's just a lot going on right now. So it really wasn't too much else to that conversation, other than Andy is going to pursue. He's going to pursue this suit against Dr. Cruz. All right, so Aaron comes in. Hey, I guess he got groceries, and he's looking for Karen. Where is Karen? We don't know where Karen is. They call the phone. The phone is right there. Yeah, we don't know where Karen is. Karen, where are you? Nobody knows. Pam goes to get her a drink. She ends up seeing Danny at the bar, and pretty much tells Danny that it's not going the way that she thought it would be. The salon is hectic right now, and she feel like she bit out more than she can chew. Danny just said, look, either you gonna step up or not. If you gonna step up, step up. If you not, don't. But the least you could do is be there for Karen when she really needs you. But if you can't, either pee or get off the pot, pretty much. All right, so Zach is drunk. He's drunk. He's white boy wasted, but he's black. And he's trying to buy drinks for the house. This part kind of confused me a little bit, because he took Zach's phone and called Sabrina to get Zach's address so he can take Zach home, right? Sabrina answered the phone. Why are you calling me? She just want to be mad right now. She was like, would you just listen? Zach over here drunk, whatever. And she said, well, have you talked to Fatima? And he says Fatima has been calling. So why didn't you just pick the phone up and tell Fatima that her dude over here drunk? Why did you have to? You just wanted a reason to call Sabrina? Because when Fatima called, you could have said, hey, man, we down here at the bar. Dude is drunk, and I need to get him to your house. That's what you could have did, but you picks up his phone and called Sabrina to get the address. Anyway, he just wanted a reason to talk to Sabrina. That's all it is. All right, so Sabrina ends up calling Fatima to tell her what's going on with Zach, that he down there drunk at the bar and all this other stuff, right? So she talks about that, and then she gets a call from Chaz. Chaz is like, man, what's going on with your boy? He over here tripping. You told me to meet up with him. He talking about, he getting all mad because I bought you this purse and all this other stuff, and Fatima over there looking surprised, and he was like, I just gave you the purse for a thank you gift. And he was like, you can't do that. You can't send gifts like that to my house when I got a man. I know you're a little young. You don't understand that. But you just can't do things like that, Chaz. And he was like, well, I'm just saying thank you. Okay, whatever. So they get out the phone. My thing with that is, Fatima, I feel like you should have went just a little bit harder on Chaz, because he is young and young people don't understand. Sometimes you got to talk to them, not like, well, you can't do that. I got a man, you can't do that. You got to just lay it out. Don't send no more gifts. This is strictly business. Don't come to my house. Don't know, all of that. Sometimes you got to lay it out. But hey, we'll get to that later. All right. So, Danny is meeting up with Sabrina for drinks. Sabrina and the cousin. I didn't understand why Danny was going to meet up with the cousin and Sabrina at the same time for drinks. I really didn't know, because at first I was just thinking, well, maybe Danny knew that was her cousin, but I don't know. It was just weird. I didn't understand why she would meet up with both of them at the same time. But she don't even like her cousin. But anyway, so they over there meeting up or whatever, and Sabrina and Danny right now. And then Danny gets the phone call from Aaron. Hey, have you seen Karen? No, I ain't seen Karen. Oh, okay. Sabrina, have you seen Karen? No, I ain't seen Karen either. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So they get out the phone. They also bring up Andy, talking about Andy sneaking around with Karen's doctor. That's why she left the gathering dinner and all this stuff with they had with Karen the other day. You know, they just pretty much harping on Andy, like she always doing this with these different dudes. Andy don't see no red flags, all this, woo, woo, right? So they kind of get on it a little bit. Okay, so now Fatima comes home. She's upset. She was like, how dare you? You know what I'm saying? How dare you mess up this meeting that you had with Chaz? I set this up. Now you over here drunk on the couch. She just really going off on Zach, right? Zach saying, but you don't see how this look, this dude giving you $6,000 bags, this, you got something going on with him. She said, I ain't got nothing going on with him. They going back and forth. She's talking about she loyal to him. She ain't never looked at another man like that. He was like, but that ain't cool. Just put all this stuff out on the table. They talk, and then she bring up the whole midwife thing. You over here calling my doctor, telling him you want a midwife. And he was like, I didn't call your doctor called me, and all that. You know, they're just going back and forth about that. She calling him a drunk, talking about he out here messing up business for her and all this other stuff, right? So then he started talking about truth. So you telling the truth, this truth, that they. Then he brings up, what was this? Since you want to sit up and talk to Danny on the phone, why don't you tell me how you really feel? So you happy that it was my baby that died? She was like, well, I didn't say it like that. I was just saying that I felt messed up about even thinking about it this way. And he was like, you over here deflecting. And she was like, I ain't got time to be sitting up here talking to you like this, why you like this and all this other stuff. So she never really got into the conversation, because she said she finna get ready to leave. Her whole thing was like, I'm not finna talk to you like this. I'm about to get ready to go. He like, oh, so you just gonna go? You just gonna go? And I mean, I feel like their communication skills are off, because she even said that. She was like, when did we even start communicating like this? They don't communicate the same way that they used to. They used to be open about a lot of things, because I feel like from the jump, she should have went ahead and told Zach, you know what I'm saying, this dude up here bringing these gifts, it gives, you know, and she just shut it down. That's what he brought me, these gifts, I shut it down or whatever. And also too, Zach shouldn't be going behind her back talking about this midwife stuff without consulting Fatima, because she's right. It is her body, her choice. They not married. So at the end of the day, her decisions are her decisions. Until they really get married, then it's pretty much theirs. Because she said, I know I got this bun cooking for both of us, but it's really my body, my choice. And if she chooses to go out and do whatever she want to do with that baby, she can do it, even though it's not fair to Zach, because she knows that Zach really wants this baby, and she does too. But at the end of the day, they not married. So she can do what she want to do. Yeah, but I just feel like their communication skills are off. Zach jealous right now. He's grieving still. And then on top of that, you got this young rich dude buying her all these gifts, showing her the affection or the attention that she needs from Zach, because right now Zach ain't giving her that attention. You know, Zach is in his world. It's about Zach right now. So, you know, she's getting this attention. I mean, she likes it. Cool. Or whatever. But now this attention is overflowing into her household. Oh, so much when she get ready to leave, look who outside the house. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you got to set boundaries. I don't know if he coming over there to apologize, or if he coming over there to get more into Zach's face or whatever. But I hope he's coming over there, because he had another dude with him. So I'm hoping he's coming over there to apologize for overstepping his boundaries. I hope that's what he's doing, because if he's doing anything other than that, then he deserved to get hit with a baseball bat, especially when you at the folk house, you know, because that's completely out of line and disrespectful. So I hope that Zach and Fatima can get back on the same page, which we know in Fatima, they back on the same page. But right now, you know, they need to fix that. All right, so Andy is on the phone. She's talking to Dr. Cruz, and pretty much talking about the fact that Dr. Cruz don't want her. No, I'm sorry, that she's talking about Dr. Cruz, and she's talking about the partner, Mr. Benson, doesn't want her to pursue the case anymore. And she talks about Fatima also overstepping her boundaries, taking cases that she should. But Dr. Bond checks her. He's just like, oh, so it's okay for you to do stuff that you're not supposed to be doing, but it ain't okay for Fatima. You know, same thing, right? Now, Andy, now I'm going to have to do a little talking to you, because it's not fair for you to sit up and say, oh, we not doing this, we not doing, I don't want Fatima, I don't want you doing this, I don't want you doing that. When you're going behind the partner's back and you still pursuing stuff. Like, why would you do that? That doesn't even, no, because Mr. Benson already said, if you can't follow instructions, you need to go somewhere else. So that means you might end up losing your job, and Fatima might end up losing hers too on account of you. So, hey, don't do as I say, not as I do. It need to be do as I do as I do what I say, do as I say. Y'all know what it is. Lead by example. So now you really ain't got that much. Well, I guess because Fatima is still your subordinate. But at the end of the day, still, yeah, you can't really come too hard on that girl like that, because she's ambitious just like you. She get it from you. And then she's on the phone with him, right? And she says that her food is on the way, and because she's been waiting over an hour, and she clicks off the phone with Dr. Vaughn, and guess who shows up at her door? Gary. I'm like, Gary, you finally done got from up under that table, because they look like the same suit you had on. But anyway, hey, Gary. All right, so now Aaron and Mama Lisa, they still concerned, right? They still looking for Karen. He looks over and he sees this note, and the note reads crazy to the point to where we gonna get there. So, surprise, surprise, your boy ain't no doctor. That's Danny's cousin. He just got out of prison. He's a prison doctor. I mean, hey, and he over here trying to still put on like, we're going to have dinner with mother. Boy, bad. And Sabrina, this lets you know that them streets not for you. Owen is not your thing. You are a one woman's man. One man's woman. One man's woman. Yeah, you're not out here for the streets. You are not built for the streets. You're not made for the streets. You are built to have a relationship. Point blank, period. Because this random stuff, it ain't doing you no good. So I hope you learn from this lesson, and don't bring no more dudes to your house, and don't pick up randoms, because they just might be your best friend's cousin that just got out of prison. Leave it alone. All right, so now after all of that, Danny gets the phone call from Aaron saying, hey, we really need to find Karen, because she left this letter saying that, now I'm finna paraphrase this letter. It says something to the effect of, they gonna end it all, that she gonna make sure that nothing bad is gonna happen, or something to the effect that she gonna end it all. She just gonna end it all. Now I don't know what that means. That could mean she gonna jump off of a building with a baby. She gonna her baby gonna get in the back. Because you heard about that woman that put them kids in that bathtub. So I don't know what Karen is ending. I hope maybe she's ending these mental anguishes in her mind. Maybe she gonna go to therapy. I don't know what it is. But can we send up prayers for our sister Karen? Because she is going through it right now. But I think that's pretty much it for this episode. Y'all let me know what Karen gonna do. And let me know if y'all still think that Fatima is right. Is she wrong? Is Zach right? Is Zach wrong? Yeah. That's all I got for y'all. Y'all have a great day. This is Sheila Beather. Don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all have a great day. Bye.